Is a good treasury the key to success? Well, I think today we are going to find out because I am joined by the founder of KadenaHashing, and very excited to have you on here. What's up?
Hey, bud. Thanks for having me.
So, right off the bat, for people who don't know, what is KadenaHashing?
KadenaHashing is an NFT project. Well, behind the scenes, we're creating a Kadena mining farm here in the USA, and we fractionalized it through the use of NFTs. So for a long time, people have had a real hard time getting into mining. Number one, it's very expensive. Number two, it requires a lot of lessons. Trust me, when you're dealing with the Chinese suppliers, it can get really ugly. And overall, it's just it requires a lot of power. It's just very hard for people to get into the mining industry, and there's a lot of hard lessons to learn along the way. Um, you know, you can do all the research on YouTube you want. You can watch Vosk and follow his footsteps and try to take your own hand at mining.
Yep.
But it's very, very difficult, and there's a lot of disappointments along the way. But if you take your time and you apply the strategy of buying in the bear, selling in the bull, and you wash, rinse, repeat during this 4-year cycle that has yet to be disproven, then you can find success in it. And that's what we aim to do is to take all the headache off of the regular user, allow them to just purchase an NFT, and then we share the rewards with them for life.
Yeah, awesome. So mining for everyone. And it seems that you have a lot of knowledge and also background in this. So how did you start with KadenaHashing? I mean, the thoughts were mining for all, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So I've been mining for 6 years, and during this last bull run, I really got very serious in it, and I got bit in the butt mining in 2017. I kind of jumped in on the tail end of the Bitcoin bull run, and frankly, I lost a lot of my own personal money in that. And but I'm the kind of person that that doubles down. If I see opportunity somewhere, then and I know that there's something there, then even though the loss was very painful, I learned a very valuable lesson in that, and I applied that to my philosophy going forward. And during this last bull run, I had the idea that I was going to launch a mining farm in the bear market, but I was going to wait until the bear market because I know that you can drastically overpay for miners.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, it was during this node season. You know what I'm talking about? This where everybody was was buying these fake nodes, all these Ponzi's, right? And I thought to myself, why in the world is no one purchasing Kadena or a Kadena miner?
Mm-hmm.
And that just got my wheels to spinning, and I thought, I could probably save a lot of people a lot of heartache if I were to open this up to the public. And for myself, it allows us to expand at a more rapid pace. I could have done this on my own, but I thought, well, with the help of others, we can expand at a more rapid pace. We can really take advantage of this next bear market, and we can really take advantage of this young coin Kadena, this powerful proof of work mining, and we can really make something special out of this. And that was a thought process. So KadenaHashing was born, and it morphed a little bit over the development stages, but what we've landed on, I think, is something very special.
Yeah, love to hear that. But before we get more into some details, if someone wants to buy your NFT, where does he do it? Where can he see it? And how much is it gonna generate?
Well, go to KadenaHashing.com, where the minting is live. We have sold out of our KH Max NFTs. Yeah, that was really
Congrats
cool.
on that again.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a very exciting thing to be a part of and to watch all of that transpire. And it was completely organic. And you know, we've built a really, really amazing group of people in our community over in Discord. They're very helpful.
Mm,
They've been with me right since the beginning, through thick and thin. And so, yeah, you go to KadenaHashing.com, and you know the earnings vary, right? You know, we
mm,
have a bot in the Discord, in our Discord channel, that shows you your approximate earnings as of today. That takes into account Kadena's difficulty,
yep.
Kadena's price, and a lot of varying factors. What we pay per terahash is very important. So the bot will tell you approximately what you would make today. But as I say, it's very variable. When we first started this thing, it would take a $4 Kadena price to make your money
Mm,
back in a year, right? And that's
yep.
in our first white paper.
Yep.
But since the KA3s have come out, wow, has it changed? I mean, now you can ROI in somewhere around 7 or 8 months
Mm,
at today's price, which is what, $1.28. It's insane. So that's just typical of the mining industry. You never know what you're going to get. You have to kind of flow and go with the
mm.
punches. But man, things are really looking up for us.
Yeah, I mean, I also wanted to ask you how excited you are for the KA3s and maybe why they are so special. And I think this is also out of context for your treasury and your treasury plan, which we'll get to, which is very interesting. But yeah, let us know a little bit about the KA3s.
Oh man, I got to tell you, whenever we first started Kadena hashing, I knew that Bitmain had not yet entered this space, and that for anything, as a chain matures, like such as
Hmm.
Bitcoin, for example, Bitmain will enter the space and take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And they always, right up to this day, have produced superior mining machines.
Hmm.
They're not very good at delivering on time. We've had some trouble with them in terms of delivery dates. But that aside, there is no doubt that they produce a superior mining machine. So when I first started Kadena hashing, I knew that the gold shell had was pretty much them, and IB Link was the only
Yep.
two manufacturers in the space. So I intended on DCAing, kind of dollar cost averaging into miners, because I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on, let's say, the KD Max or the
Hmm.
KD6 it was at the time, and then Bitmain come right around the corner and drop something like the KA3, and then we've got an outdated machine. It would have been a
Yep.
giant waste of money. So it turns out that our strategy really, really paid off. We had only bought one bunch of miners and had spent only a couple $100,000 on those miners, which is a very small portion of what our NFT proceeds will buy.
Hmm.
So the KA3 came out, and man, I was shaking with excitement. I thought, oh
Me
my
too.
gosh, this
I
is
I couldn't realize
yeah, it's
it.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I had a hard time wrapping my head around why they were so cheap. And I thought, is this even real? So I used my contacts. I reached out to Bitmain and everything, found out, in fact, it was real. But, the buying the units has been a whole nother story. They
Hmm.
only have a limited set of them. It's been a real crap show to try to get your hands on them. But we were lucky enough to get our hands on 100 of them.
Hmm.
And it's really changed the mining landscape. But I have realized now that the price is fair, because the difficulty in the network is going to absolutely moon
Hmm. Yep.
when this thing actually does start being readily produced, which is, it has the effect of reducing the reward amount per machine. And um, with that being the case, it turns out that the price is fair, and it's actually a lot fairer than the manufacturers usually offer. For example, Gold Shell was selling KD6s for $50,000. At the
Hmm.
height of the bull
Yeah.
run,
Yeah.
it was insane. And a
Yeah.
lot of people bought these things, man, and now they're sitting
Yeah.
on these giant paperweights. So it's
Yep.
really sad. But that's cutthroat in the mining realm, and that's what can happen if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and you just said that the mining difficulty when increasing will lower your rewards, but is it actually a bad thing? Because you explained it, I think, pretty good in your AMA.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad thing at all. Look, guys, it's wonderful for Kadena, the coin, right? If you can look back and watch Bitmain's, I'm sorry, Bitcoin's chart. When Bitmain entered the space and started creating mining machines, the hash rate went through the roof for Bitcoin. And it's about that time when Bitcoin started becoming very recognized, and it's likewise, its price chart started mooning. And whenever you have more miners on the network, your network becomes more secure, and it has the effect of bringing more eyes into the project, which then helps the ecosystem grow, which then helps the price appreciate. So it's a give and take, right? I think it's not a bad thing at all. It's an awful thing for those that have mining machines now. But other than that, it's really good for the network as a whole. And I'm very, very pleased that it's happened this early in our project.
I mean, it also has to go up. Everybody wants Kadena to go up, but then sad when rewards go down. I mean, makes no sense.
Well, it's not good. It's not good in the interim, right? For the bear market. Okay. For example, when these things start coming out, I fully expect the bear market to be continuing and the KDA price to be depressed. So as the difficulty starts to moon, the rewards start to go down. You'll have people whinging and moaning, but what you have to keep in mind is the long-term vision here. This thing, it just takes a little bit of time. And whenever the bull market comes, I fully expect KDA to go on a massive run. It could possibly 100x from here. And all we've got to do is be able to take the rewards we make today, don't sell them, just sit on them. And I think everybody's going to be well pleased come a year or two from now.
Yeah, and I think everybody should also keep in mind that if you think 2 years ahead and about the price of Kadena in 2 years, you also have to consider that the project's also built for 2 years, and it's they are not going to be in the state they are in now, which I think is pretty important, because people tend to, I don't know, FUD really quick, but forget that it actually takes time, and the project actually also has to build not only the price. So
well, that's true. That's true. People in crypto, they tend to be on the short side. They think long term is about 3 weeks.
If
I don't get my money back in 3 weeks, what am I doing? But in the real world, guys, this is a real business. This is no Ponzi. This is we don't pull rewards out of thin air. This is an actual business, and it has the prospects of lasting now and to perpetuity due to our treasury, which we'll get into, as you said. And so we'll still be here hacking away and hashing away, I should say, and throwing out coin in 2 years from now and 10 years from now, when people realize that one-time purchase, that one-time NFT purchase is still paying them KDA. It's going to be somewhat of a revelation. I truly believe that KadenaHashing will become known as one of the best protocols of its day.
Me too. I mean, I'm so hyped for all of those mining projects. But if you want to explain us the tokenomics, I mean, how the funds are separated, maybe what state you are in with your miners, and then you can also come over to the treasury, because I think it's all in the same direction.
Sure. Well, when I started this, I intended for 100% of the NFT proceeds to either go towards what small bit of infrastructure we need. We don't need much because the building is already there. But I wanted most, if not all, the funds to go to miners. So we take 0% of any NFT sales. We don't take any of that as a team. It goes directly into the miner fund, and that money is used directly to purchase miners. And why is that? Because the more hash power we can buy, the more everyone gets paid, including ourselves. So, so that's on the receive side. In terms of how it's all paid out, it's a pretty complicated math formula, but the KH Lite gets a percentage of the pool, the KH Pro gets a percentage, and the Max gets a little bit more of a percentage. So the ROI period kind of goes down as you spend more, right? Which is typical anything, but it's not a giant difference in the two. There's also some extra benefits, like there's a kicker that comes along with the KH Max and the KH Pro and the KH Lite, which means that if we were to build out another farm with our profit or with another NFT collection, then only these Genesis NFT owners will inherit a portion of those future farms, as well as those who buy the NFTs to build those farms. Now, we won't ever do that again. So we carve out 10% of all future activity, and we'll pay it to the Genesis buyers, which is this collection, this 15,000. So that's a really good reward. Go ahead.
If you keep it on your wallet, or was it like this? So if you transfer.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're talking about the transfer. So
Yep.
the way that it is this is only meant to reward original buyers and holders of the NFT. Once the NFT is transferred or sold, then it loses the kicker benefits, which helps the original owners because it reduces the pool size for the original owners. So that's the idea. Also, I should mention that, you know, our particular NFTs are not transferable until we mint out or we stop selling. There is such a scenario where we would pull the NFTs from the market if the miner prices start going up, because it's just not fair to the NFT owners that have paid early and waited. But if we mint out or we mint out or we stop selling, then they'll instantly become transferable. We're even thinking about building our own marketplace for them. But yeah, and then a portion of the earnings goes to Treasury.
Yep.
And this is super important for KadenaHashing. This is where the perpetuity portion of it comes along. You know, there's a lot of other mining projects. Hats off to them. Kadena Mining Club, for example, is minted out. I'm very happy for them.
Yep.
But with KadenaHashing, we put a portion in Treasury, and what that's used for is we expect KDA to go on a massive run here, and we want to have this Treasury loaded down with KDA, so that way we can kind of DCA out of the coin on the way up in the bull market. We can secure that USD value, and then whenever the bear comes around again, we've got a pot of money, a war chest, if you will, to either replace all of the miners, which will be out of date and need replacing by then. And there is such a scenario that where we have enough KDA in there and it goes on a sufficient enough run that we can actually expand with a Treasury alone. And if we do that, then it's a brilliant, beautiful day for everybody in this platform, because the kickers are moot, right? You'll get 55% of everything then, as opposed to just a 6% kicker. So it would be a really, really bright day. That's actually my goal. I don't want to have to create another NFT collection. I want the original people that come into this and believe in this and back me in this to really get rewarded for doing so.
Yeah, man. And I gotta tell you, I don't know how long your NFTs are gonna be available. Guys, you really gotta listen to those AMAs they have, or re-listen to them. KadenaHashing is smart, as smart as fuck. I'm telling you, I swear, I really enjoy your AMAs. So I think a lot of people, learn a lot.
You've been a supporter of ours since early on, brother. I remember you reaching out to me at a very early stage. So we appreciate your support. Yeah,
man. I mean, I was fascinated by mining and mining NFTs pretty early on, and I think I really see the vision. It has, because as Riley also said, I mean, in the end, people who make money in crypto are miners. So it's a really long way. We've got, I don't know, 112 years of mining ahead of us. So it's
well,
awesome.
I got to tell you, there's a lot of money to be made in mining, but you have to do it right. You have to be patient. Now, I tell everyone this often in our Discord, and I made sure to mention it several times in the white papers, because you see some mining farms going out of business in a bear market. I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly why they're doing that. Because they overextend themselves. I was watching very large mining farms actually taking lawns out and using their machines as collateral in the bull run, when they're paying 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 times the price for these miners. And what do they expect would happen when the bear market came around? You've overextended yourself. So you can't allow yourself to get sucked up into that FOMO, because when the money's flying, it's easy to do that, right? It's easy to let greed overtake you. It's a very powerful human emotion, but you have to be disciplined going into this. And I think with our community, backing me and me backing the community,
Yep.
that we have a very strong support system, and we'll all be able to walk ourselves through it and be disciplined like we should be.
I mean, you also have a great team and some great partners.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a great team, great partners, great backers, and yeah, and everybody's very supportive of each other. We're a very cohesive team. It's just very exciting, man, because
Yeah.
there's a lot on the horizon. There's a lot of things that we can kind of dip our toe into as our team expands and and KadenaHashing expands. Number one mission always will be mining, but there's a lot of fun ideas being bounced around. So I'm really excited for the future.
So where's your facility, or how does it look like? Or how
Yeah,
will it look like?
Yeah, we've released pictures of it. Actually, I can
Mhm.
I can send you some after this interview if you want to just pop them up on the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I can do that, no problem. It's I'll tell you the story of this. It was a guy that, so before I've been selling miners for a while now,
Mhm.
and in that business, I came across a gentleman that wanted to buy some miners, and I was always very forthright and with my customers, and I would tell them my opinions on the market because they would always ask. And he wanted to know about when the, how much longer is a bull run going to come, and I would always tell him, look, guys, this is coming to an end this year. This was probably, I don't know, I'm guessing, but maybe in August or so.
Mhm.
And we peaked in, what was it, September, I think it was, last year. Um, so so I told him the end is coming, but people have their purchase plans and they want to move forward. And if they wanted to buy miners at the end of the day, I was happy to sell it to them. But unfortunately, he moved forward and he spent all of his available capital on older units with the thought that he was going to
Mhm.
compound those units into newer generation units. He built out this facility. It's already completely constructed. It has a hot wall. It has airflow fans and filters
Great.
and all that. And then the bottom fell out. So believe it or not, the unit just it stayed there unused. He
Yep.
never did complete the building. All he needed to do was install the transformer, but he didn't want to spend that money because the miners he owned were no longer profitable. So I told him, hey, I'll spend, what does it cost? And he said, well, here, I'll give you the bill. Gave him a call and said, I've got this idea with KadenaHashing and yada, yada, yada. And he sent me the bill. And so I paid $76,000 and some change directly to the electric company.
Yep.
And bought the transformer. It just got installed like 2 days ago. They have to hook it up still, but super exciting. We went through so much torment with that because city inspectors and all that crap. But man, that's the final piece of the puzzle there. It's already,
Awesome. Great to hear
it's
that.
installed. We just got to get it hooked up, and then we're going to move all our miners over there, and it's off to the races. So we worked out a hell of a deal. 2 years rent free. It's a 6 cent all-in kilowatt hour rate, which is hardly unheard of around the United States these days. That's for 5 years. And we have the lease allows us to renew at the same term. So after 2 years, we pay 1% of our profit to the owner, and that's it. And we carry on. And it's a giant piece of property. We're already in talks with other mining groups about moving their facilities there from other states, because there's a lot of benefits to mining in Texas where it is.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's really, really cool.
So you are basically just waiting for the miners.
Well, yes. Well,
I mean,
we have to hook up the transformer. We have to move everything over there.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
There is a hot wall, but we've got to cut it out and put the miners up, put the shelves up, and do all the wiring and all that. But yeah, in order to really start dishing out some serious KDA, we need to get our KA3 units.
Awesome.
And that's on Bitmain, right? They say December. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. You're right.
Yeah.
I have an interesting question, which I also got DM'd today. I know it's different in every country, but mining is also taxed or should be taxed. So maybe people don't know that, because I mean, if you only hold Kadena or token for long enough, it'll be tax free. But it's different with mining. So maybe you have a few words for the people.
Yeah, well, if you're in the United States, I don't know about any other jurisdiction, but I know if you're in the United States, it's taxed as ordinary income. So I use TaxBit. There's many softwares out there you can use to punch in your earnings. So whenever you take in some Kadena from a mining activity, you clock that as income, right? And it's taxed as ordinary income. And then the portion, the difference between let's say it's $1.30 today and you receive 10 Kadena, and then you sell it a year from now at $10, you're going to be taxed capital gains on the difference between $1.50 and $10. And you're going to be taxed initially as income. So yeah, I mean, if you're in the United States, I would highly advise you to look into the taxes with crypto, because they're getting pretty serious about that. I know for sure we'll be paying our taxes.
Yep, I mean, it's same here in Germany, but I just wanted to get the word out, because I don't think many people have that on their minds, and better get in sooner than too late, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Hey, listen, man, I always say this: if you're paying more taxes, you're making more money. So hallelujah.
Yep. That's true. That's true.
Yep.
Maybe one more thing that I don't know if we've said, but the NFTs that are available are the KH Lights and the KH Pros.
That's right.
The KH Lite is available for, what was it?
It's $160 the light, which is a very small price to get into for mining. You can purchase $160 NFT and just sit back and collect your earnings, which is pretty cool. And the KH Pro costs a little more. It's $500. And like we said, the KH Max, which was $1,000, is sold out.
Did you already have the, no, I don't think you had the KH Pro mint party, or is it still?
Oh, it's happening today. I don't know if you'll get this video out in time, but it's actually happening right now, I think, 4 o'clock.
Oh,
so if we sell 200 NFTs today, between 200 KH Pros between right now and 24 hours from now, we'll give somebody a free KH Pro.
Awesome. No, I really like that. And I mean, we are at around half an hour here, and I mean, the mint party just started. I don't know if you're heading over there, but I think that's pretty good length for a video. I mean, I would be more than happy to have you on the channel more often, and just keep everyone updated. Want to get the word out about mining NFTs, Kadena, proof of work, and all that. So
hey man, we love to support anyone who supports us. So we, like I said, we very much appreciate it, and I'd love to come back and give you an update at some point.
Awesome. So if anyone still has any questions, feel free to comment down below, or join the your Discord, because there are a lot of updates also happening there. I think every Monday you have your.
Yeah, every Monday we have a very comprehensive update, but you know, I tend to update more than most, because I'm very transparent. I like everybody to know exactly what's going on. So be prepared to be updated a lot, but you know, I think more information is better than less.